Howdy folks, Big Anklevich here. Welcome to another episode of That Carnivore Guy. That's right, he's so annoying. He's that carnivore guy. Ugh, let's go see what he's up to. That carnivore guy. Take it away, Marshall.
Hey everybody, Marshal Latham here for the second week of January 2026, and I'm here to give my weekly report for how I'm doing. I had a pretty good week. I will say that I did not do one meal a day all week. I did it several days. Wednesday and Thursday, I was not able to do. Um, well, I it was hard. It was harder than I thought. And this was the first full week of me trying to do it. And so Monday and Tuesday, I persevered and I just ate when I got home. I just had eggs and sausage. I had hamburgers, cheeseburgers. I just, stayed within the carnivore and did well. Wednesday, uh, there was a potluck thing going on, and I'd try to avoid it. I did end up having some meatballs that were there, but yeah, because somebody told me, "See, you got to be there." It was somebody's retirement party again, or I don't know if I talked about this. Somebody else just recently retired, I believe. But anyway, uh, yeah, they said, "Hey, you got to be there to support so and so." So I did go there for the presentation and the speech or whatever, and I looked over the items that were in the potluck, and I decided, hey, I can eat the meatballs that are there. They weren't all gooeyed up or whatever in sauce. They were just kind of cooked in not a brine, but uh, I don't know, in water with some seasonings and stuff like that. But anyway, so I had those, and that was good. But then I left because there were so many temptations that I needed to get out of there for that. But I did eat during the day, and the next day, Thursday, I decided, you know what, in case I run into something like that, I'm gonna have some hamburgers at work. And then I ended up eating the hamburgers, but that's okay. The one meal a day was kind of something that I was putting on myself because I remember that when I was really rocking previously, that did one meal a day without an issue. But that was when I was kind of in my prime. I had lost a bunch of weight, and I had already been doing carnivore consistently for a long time. And so it wasn't an issue. And so, yeah, this going into this week, I'm probably going to bring something to work. It doesn't mean I have to eat it, but I'm going to bring it anyway. So I'll have something, and it's just going to be hamburgers. One of the things that I was thinking of is, you don't have to be creative. Big was always doing the ground beef, 2 helpings of ground beef. And he didn't always stick to that, but at least he had that as his plan and as his base. And I'm just going to be like Kelly Hogan, and it'll just be beef patties all the way down. And that's going to be my major source of food, is just burger patties, because they taste good, and I can add cheese to them if I want to. I can put an egg on it. I can do all kinds of things. So I think eggs, bacon, sausage, and burger patties is going to be my staple going forward. But I did manage on Friday, and then again on Saturday, to stick to the one meal a day. And then I guess, yeah, today as well. I guess I should report on today, because I'm always so busy on Sundays during the day that I pretty much had one meal today. I cooked up some sausage. I put 5 fried eggs on top of that, and kind of ate that all together. And yeah, that was a pretty good meal for today. Exercise, I haven't been doing very well. I haven't been getting out for extra walks. I haven't been getting in as many steps. One day I got over 4,000, which I thought was really good. But again, I think that was Thursday that I did that. But what I really want to talk to you about this on this week's video was that I've been to the doctor recently. It's been 3 to 4 years since I checked in with the doctor, got my blood work done, had the physical, all that kind of stuff. And let's see. So the biggest things out of that, I was extremely low in vitamin D. It's probably because I haven't been getting outside as much. I mean, your best source of vitamin D is the sun. And so she did put me on some supplements, some vitamin D supplements, and we'll see where we're at in 3 weeks. And then I was low in testosterone as well, but she didn't want to treat that yet. She thought, let's check some of these other things that are going on. And so the other marker for me was my A1C level was low enough not to be diabetic, but my insulin level is high, right? I think that's correct. It seems to me like my insulin level should be low if I have diabetes or pre-diabetes or whatever it is. But anyway, so my A1C was in the green, I guess, but still high enough to where it could be a problem. And with my high insulin, that was also an issue that she brought up. So she started talking about medications for that, and she wanted to do a double up thing where I took some metformin, which is a pretty standard, I think, insulin type, pre-diabetes type thing, or even diabetes. But then she also wanted to put me on some, and I always forget what these are called, GLP-1s, is that correct? And that gets into where it's like an Ozempic type of thing, right? I was going to look into it more before I made this video, but I said, let's hold off on that. I don't, I'll do metformin for a little bit to see if I can get my insulin level down, but I've really want to do this more with my diet, with my way of eating, and getting more exercise. And even though I've been failing at that over the last few months, or not failing completely, but failing in what I should be doing, I'd really, that's another reason for me to push hard in these coming weeks to get my markers down and to show that, yeah. But I am taking the metformin, and I'm taking the vitamin D, which, I mean, that's just a vitamin supplement. That doesn't bother me at all as far as medication. But yeah, when she started getting into the GLP-1s, I don't want to rely on that stuff. I want to be able to control it with what I'm eating. And so that's what I'm doing. And I've been having a hard time getting on my portal because it's been so long since I've been on it. And I talked to the lady and she goes, well, I can't invite you to it because you're already in it, but I can't seem to get onto it. So I need to call somebody at the software or the website or whatever and see what I can do. And maybe next time I'm on here, I can give you what those insulin levels and A1C levels were and why they might be a problem. But, just being obese and giving in and to temptations and eating things that I shouldn't be consistently over time, and I've been doing okay since I've been doing this with Big, but I've also been messing up at the end of every month. So that's not that's not consistent enough on eating the good stuff the right way to get my body to be in a better position, to be in better health. So so I wanted to bring that up, that I am looking into where I'm at with my levels, and so for 3 months I'll be taking the metformin, and then we'll see where I'm at, and then if things are looking good, I'm not going to do it anymore. So, and I'm definitely not going to do the GLP-1s. So that's my story this week. I don't think I have anything else to talk about, but it was a very good, consistent week as far as I did not eat a lot outside of, I didn't eat anything actually outside of the carnivore. So I feel good about that. It's been a good week, but yeah, I need to push more on the walking, getting the steps in, and I need to figure out, well, I've already said I'm either going to eat once a day or twice a day, depending on how I feel. And I think that'll help. So that's my story, and I'll get back to you next week. Hope you guys have a good one, and I hope you enjoy this format. All right, talk to you later.
All right, Marshall, way to go. Looks like you had a good week. You did a lot better this week than you did last week. No mom's home cooking, so you're doing pretty good. To answer your question about the insulin, the reason your insulin is high, it's actually, that's the way it normally is. When you have low insulin or no insulin, that means you have type 1 diabetes, which is what happens when your immune system attacks your pancreas, kills off the beta cells so that you cannot make your own insulin. What type 2 diabetes is, which is what you're, on the verge of, if you were to allow yourself to just let yourself go, that is when you're insulin resistant. So your body makes plenty of insulin, and it's actually going to be really, really high in insulin because it's telling you to take the sugar in your bloodstream and sock it away in your fat cells. But your fat cells are full and they're saying, nope, we don't want it. And so it yells at them louder with more insulin. And they say, no, we don't want it. And so it yells louder, and that's why your insulin gets really high. And it's tough to lose weight when you're in that state because insulin is the storage hormone, the sock it away hormone. So if your insulin is too high, then you're going to have a hard time getting to lose any weight. But yeah, you are on the right track, I would say. If we hadn't been doing carnivore for most of this past year, I think you probably would have been diagnosed as a type 2 diabetic at this doctor's appointment. So it's pretty good that we've been doing that. And I bet that if you keep going, your A1C will come down even more, and eventually your insulin will come down too. That's a little tougher. It takes a little longer. The message takes a little while to get through, and also you got to make sure to be consistent with that message. Don't throw the carbs in there. Make sure to avoid them at all cost, because every time you do that, that makes your body make more insulin. Even sweet stuff that doesn't have actual carbs in it, like some artificial sweeteners, I would avoid those too, because that's going to tell your body we need insulin, because that's what your body has taste buds, and it knows what tastes like carbs and what tastes like other stuff. So don't give it something sweet to taste, and your insulin will start going down. And when your insulin starts going down, then your body will, you'll start to lose the fat that you're holding on to, and that'll make a big difference. And you'll avoid becoming type 2 diabetic. You won't have to ever get diagnosed as that. So that's cool. But keep at it and be really consistent. That's the way you get out of that trap. I know I was in it. I had that bear trap clamped down on my leg real good. And until somebody finally told me, hey, stop eating carbs, which is weird because the doctor didn't tell me that. The dietitian didn't tell me that. I had to watch a YouTube video just to understand that and finally know, oh, carbs are the problem. Oh my gosh, why didn't somebody tell me that? The way to reverse type 2 diabetes is by ignoring the guidelines. Thank you, Sarah Hallberg. You're the greatest. We miss you. And just keep at it, Marshall. If you keep at it, you won't get into that situation. But remember, it's carnivore lifestyle. It's not a carnivore diet. It's not a thing that you're going to do for just a little bit. This This is your life, man, from here on out. You need to avoid the carbs from here on out. And, don't let them back in the door. And when you let them in the door, then it makes you want more, and it's easier to let them in next time, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, because they're addictive. Just like cigarettes or alcohol or drugs or something, don't give it a chance. And maybe your body can recover and stop craving those things. Don't give them a chance. And you can do it. Yeah, you can do it, and you can give yourself a nice, long, happy life. But make sure to do it, because the average type 2 diabetic, what I learned was that they cut 20 years off of their lifespan. You don't want that. I didn't want that. That's one of the main reasons why I'm doing what I'm doing, so that I can live a little bit longer and be around for the people that I love. And I think that you would probably like to do that same thing. So keep at it. All right, folks, thanks for watching. We'll see you guys next time on Big Anklevich on Health.